Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. A 21-year veteran of the Stonington Police Department was flown to Rhode Island Hospital in Providence today.
That sergeant was outside of his vehicle and was hit by his own cruiser after the cruiser was struck by a car. All of this happening on a pretty remote stretch of Route 184 near the North Stonington town line.
Fox 61's Samaya Hernandez live in Stonington with what we know so far. Samaya.
Yeah, that crash scene was just cleared up a couple of hours ago, but for nearly 5 hours today, state police worked to reconstruct that crash here in this remote section of the route. Now, we do know that when the officer was flown to the hospital, he was alert and conscious. We are working to learn more about his condition tonight.
Helicopters overhead, so I knew it was LifeStar, so I knew it was a very serious thing.
Brian Worth was at work inside a Route 184 trucking company in Stonington when the road became overcome with first responders late Monday morning.
It was pretty evident it was a very serious thing that had happened.
A crash serious enough to require a 21-year veteran of the Stonington Police Department to be flown to Rhode Island Hospital in Providence.
We're very concerned about our sergeant. We want to make sure that he's getting the best treatment and making sure that all the other officers as well are being taken care of. It's a concerning thing throughout the entire department.
The officer, whose name has not yet been released, was off duty working detail for a line crew that was placing new cables on poles when this red Toyota convertible crashed into the cruiser.
Unfortunately, the cruiser ended up striking our sergeant that was outside of the cruiser at the time.
State police worked to reconstruct the crash, which closed both sides of Route 184 near the North Stonington town line Monday afternoon. The driver of the convertible was also hurt but driven to New London's Lawrence and Memorial Hospital.
Many people contact us with support and prayers, and we certainly appreciate that.
People drive too fast along this stretch, and the speed limit's 45, and people drive a lot faster than that.
And again, that sergeant was alert when flown to the hospital. We are working to learn more about his condition tonight, and we're working to learn more about the condition of the driver. That's the latest here in Stonington. Samaya Hernandez, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Samaya, thank you. Well, we are on a weather watch alert tonight. Some snow expected later in the week, and tonight we actually could see some rain and snow, creating some slippery spots.
Bit of a narrative change here from what we're used to. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us. Hi, Rach.
Yeah, Mother Nature reminding us that winter is indeed not over quite yet, even though it still feels like it, even outside right now. We have some showers that are getting closer to Connecticut. This doesn't really look like much, but this little impulse is going to kind of deepen and intensify a little bit as it moves over Connecticut later tonight. And as we get some of those rain showers to transition over to snow, that could result in slippery spots or snowy roads for some heading into Tuesday morning. So that's the first system that we're watching. Temperatures are in the 50s right now. We saw a high temperature close to 60 degrees outside today. For the news at 10 and 11, some scattered showers developing out there. And after midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, as some colder air comes in, we make that transition from rain showers over to snow showers. This is not a lot of snow, but not good timing for the morning commute tomorrow. I think some roads may be slippery and snow covered with temperatures getting close to freezing, but others may get much less. I do think there will be some narrow banding that ends up occurring as this happens early tomorrow. So there might be some areas that pick up a quick inch or two of snow. In those locations, the roads will be snowy for sure. Others may only get a coating and roads might be okay and mainly wet. So check in with the morning show crew after around 9 o'clock or so. It looks like the snow moves on. Most of the day is dry, and then another chance for a late rain or snow shower as we head into tomorrow evening. We'll time out the rest and talk about what we're on the weather watch for later this week, an icy mix coming up.
Rachel, thank you. Stone Academy students say that they feel stonewalled by the very people who are supposed to support them in their education. They took to the street today demanding accountability and answers following the school's sudden closure. Fox 61's Matt Karen joining us live at the East Hartford campus where today's emotions boiled over. He joins us with more on that. Matt.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. Just within the last hour, we got our first communication from Stone Academy, the first communication ever since the university, or since the school rather, ceased operations. They are advising students to check Stone Academy's website to request their transcripts or a transfer to continue their education and what Stone is calling one of 4 other partner institutions. Stone Academy student Daviana Fincher is demanding accountability after the closing of the nursing school left her blindsided.
I'm backward in my mortgage, in my car notes.
Yes.
How many times? Because I quit a full-time job to finish school. I only heard on the news that Stone was closed. Not till today, not even an email.
On this day, the voices growing louder by the dozens.
Who wants to teach our plan?
Met with honks of approval.
Nurses. This doesn't happen to nurses. We want to change the world.
But it's left some wondering if they'll have to change their imagined futures just months from graduation.
Blood, sweat, and tears, my time. I'm a single mom of 2 under 3. Coming here every single day from New London, I sacrificed so much.
Students and instructors held signs ranging from the face of the silent president of Stone Academy to demands that their credits be honored, marching to the campus offices and throwing their nursing uniforms by the locked doors.
We were just left in the dust.
These students and instructors, many of them single moms, have sacrificed much.
I'm in my 40s, I'm not in my 20s. I don't have all day, I already stopped my life.
All this as big picture questions loom large.
The state knew that this school was in some kind of danger. We're going to look for a judge that will grant a class action suit.
Now, the State Office of Higher Education has also promised to hold a fair next week where they say students can, quote, explore what educational options are available to them, which includes credit transfers, possible tuition reimbursement, and federal loan discharges. For now, we're live here on the Stone Academy East Hartford campus. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, new tonight, a high school staffer in New Fairfield is under arrest, accused of sexually assaulting a student. State police say Andy Rosafort turned herself in today after learning of a warrant out for her arrest. A teenager told investigators that Rosafort allegedly drove to pick up the victim while they were at a party. The victim then alleges that she had sex with him before the victim left the vehicle and was back to the party. Rosafort is now out on a $100,000 bond.
New tonight, at least 3 people are dead and hundreds others injured after another earthquake hits Turkey. This comes just 2 weeks after a 7.8 magnitude quake devastated the region. The Turkish agency says the quake was felt as far away as Syria, Jordan, Israel, and Egypt. There have been more than 6,000 recorded aftershocks since February 6's massive earthquake, which killed more than 41,000 people in Syria and in Turkey.
President Biden making an unannounced stop in Kyiv, Ukraine. The president announcing an additional $500 million in aid just days before the 1-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of the country.
1 year later, Kyiv stands, and Ukraine stands. Democracy stands. The Americans stand with you, and the world stands with you.
President Biden will be in Warsaw, Poland, to mark the anniversary of the invasion.
New tonight, U.S. Senator Chris Murphy joined advocates in Hartford to talk about the reintroduction of his Background Check Expansion Act. Senator Murphy has introduced this legislation in every Congress since 2017. Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst joins us now in studio. So, Emma, does Senator Murphy feel like this year is different?
Well, Jen, he definitely does. This time around, he says there's just more support. Murphy secured a record 47 Senate co-sponsors with 2 more Democratic caucus members on board, Senators John Fetterman of Pennsylvania and Angus King from Maine. And despite the uphill battle this bill will see in both the Senate and the now Republican-controlled House, Murphy remains confident.
There's almost nothing in America that polls more popular than universal background checks.
Monday morning, Senator Chris Murphy talked reintroduction of his Background Check Expansion Act.
I think there is nothing we could pass that would make this country safer than a national background check requirement.
This bill would require background checks for the sale or transfer of all firearms, including unlicensed sellers.
We need Congress to act because it will make a difference in this community and in communities all across this country.
The Hartford Police Department seized 367 illegal guns last year, up 150 from just 2 years ago.
The prevalence of these guns is on the rise.
Only 16% of those 367 guns were stolen. 58 were ghost guns, and the other 250 purchased or transferred legally.
And ended up here on the streets of Hartford in an illegal way. Those 367 guns come from 32 states. Leading the way is Vermont and North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. That's where the majority of our guns come from out of state that end up illegally here and are used in crimes in the city.
Thotty says this legislation would ensure those acquiring firearms are doing so in a responsible way.
It's just too damn easy to get a gun. If 90% of Americans want universal background checks and the Republican-led House of Representatives won't put it to a vote, they're not listening to their constituents.
And at least a vote is Murphy's goal this session.
The success here is showing Republicans that the sky doesn't fall when they vote for these measures.
And Murphy tells me even if they can't pass this measure, it's important to have a vote to show where Congress stands. He doesn't know if this specific bill will pass, but he says he's open to compromises. Jen?
All right, Emma, thank you very much. Well, state police are investigating a fatal pedestrian crash that happened in Enfield last night. Police say a woman was in the center lane on I-91 southbound near exit 48 when that person was hit. They were pronounced dead on the scene. Police say the driver did not remain on the scene. Anyone with information should contact police.
A woman is still in critical condition tonight after being hit by a car on the Berlin Turnpike last night. Weathersfield police say it happened right in the area of Arrow Road just before 8 p.m. The driver did remain on scene and is cooperating with police. Police are still investigating the incident.